G'day, in this episode we're in Ninh Binh, the place they call Halong Bay on land. But is it actually better than Halong Bay? And is this Vietnam's most underrated destination? I guess you'll have to stick around to find out. Just 2.5 hours from Hanoi by bus, Ninh Binh's super easy to get to. No overnight sleeper trains or buses required, which is always a win. We got dropped straight to our hotel, about 5 minutes outside Tam Coc. And for about $60 a night, this place is surprisingly luxurious, an absolute bargain. After checking in, having a wander around and getting some lunch nearby, we jumped in a Grab, which is basically Vietnam's Uber, and headed into Tam Coc to check out the vibe. And the big square downtown in Tam Coc was great for Maxi to run around and burn off some of that extra energy he'd been building up. Then I joined in some of the fun with the local aunties and a local flash mob. Still not entirely sure what the occasion was, but I gave it my best shot. We were all getting hungry, and by dinner time the smell of charcoal barbecue was everywhere, so we went hunting for some rotisserie duck and some local Vietnamese dishes. And after that it was back to the hotel to relax and recharge for the next day. We kicked the morning off with the included buffet breakfast, always a good start. Then we got a Grab, headed into the Tam Coc Marina for the famous Ninh Binh boat tour. Kids ride free and adults are about $15 to $20 each. Not bad for a few hours cruising through these views. Say hi, Mama. Hi. Our rower, Mama, was an absolute weapon. At 60 years old, she was powering the boat with both her arms and her legs. Unreal. The rowboats go under some caves along the way, and there's a few drop-off points where you can get some really cool photos. Sadly, we had to say goodbye to Mama, and she dropped us off to an electric buggy that took us out to a temple. I've got no idea what's going through Maxi's head here, but it looked like some kind of spiritual awakening, which lasted about 30 seconds before he decided to go and scare a goat. Classic Max. After that, free electric buggy back into town. Everyone else wanted to chill at the hotel and have a nap, so I grabbed one of the free bikes and went off on a solo mission. Exploring Ninh Binh by bike is honestly one of the best ways to see it. Everything's pretty close and the scenery's unreal. But just keep your wits about you. You're sharing the road with cars, buses and the occasional wide driver. How far, Maxi? Is it good? Huh? No? Now with everyone awake, we walked over to the Big Dong Pagoda, only about 10 minutes walk from the hotel. You don't need long here, maybe an hour or so, and the climb's pretty manageable. And there are some epic views of Ninh Binh at the top. One thing though, Vietnam's usually pretty chill, but there were some pretty persistent hawkers at the bottom, just a heads up. And no doubt you'll cross paths with a couple of mountain goats. They're pretty fearless and they get up pretty close to the action. Back in town and the festival was still going strong, Maxi had no trouble making a few new friends. And then we stumbled across a high school dance group that gave off serious Jamaican private schoolgirl energy. Some more delicious Vietnamese barbecue for dinner, and then a bit of a play on some random scooter, and that was us done for the day. Next morning, straight back to the free breakfasts, no complaints here, and then off to Hang Moi, the home of Dragon Mountain. At the base of Dragon Mountain, there's actually a big eco park with gardens, markets and walking paths. Kind of gave me Sydney Chinese Gardens vibes, but way, way better. And then we found our happy place. And after that, it was time for the 500-step climb, which I tackled in Crocs, despite ChatGPT strongly advising against it. Full dad mode. And yeah, the views at the top speak for themselves. Monkey magic. And even though this place does pull a decent crowd, it really wasn't hard to find a nice quiet spot to soak it all in. And check out this madman casually fixing live wires barehanded, only in Vietnam. And just like that, our time in Ninh Binh was coming to an end. We squeezed in one last lunch, mountain goat with lemongrass and chilli, plus a few other local dishes. And we all know you can't leave without a fresh young coconut. Mate, too much Red Bull. And a big shout out to Mr. Chu, a little travel agent stand out the front of a restaurant. He got us a return trip cheaper than we paid in Hanoi. These are a bit of a relic in Australia, but fuck, I miss them. And after our minibus was running too late, Mr. Chu paid for a private limo for us to get back to Hanoi. So, the real question, is Ninh Binh a hidden gem worth visiting? Absolutely. But how does it compare to the more famous Halong Bay? Stay tuned for the next video and we'll settle that score. And if you enjoyed this video, a like and subscribe goes a long way in helping us grow. Thanks for watching and we'll see you in the next episode of Big Benny's World.